piggyback on that, in reference to these deplorable conditions, in addition to voting you into office, which is a box checked as far as I'm concerned, what can we do now, the citizens, the people on the ground, to help the situation?
It's why what we saw in Peterborough and across the country in the Lights for Liberty protests was so encouraging to me. More than a year ago, Father's Day of 2018, we had learned that President Trump had begun a zero tolerance policy, meaning that 100% of families apprehended in between ports of entry were separated. The kid placed in a cage, the mom turned over to the Department of Justice for criminal prosecution, then to Immigration and Customs Enforcement for deportation back to the very country from which she fled. That child then turned over to Health and Human Services, the Office of Refugee Resettlement, a tent in the desert in a community called Tornillo, just outside of El Paso, Texas. We learned about it. We sent the signal out. Within 24 hours, 1,000 people descended on Tornillo, Texas, to bear witness and testify back to their fellow Americans about what was being done in their name. Within months, that zero tolerance policy had ended, and a few months more, Tornillo had completely closed down. In this democracy, when we understand that though this was a decision of one man, the responsibility to change it is on all of us, and we don't have to wait just until the next election. We can take action now. We actually produce the change that we want to see. It is painstakingly slow, it is frustrating, but that's the way that any significant change in this country has ever happened. We just celebrated the 55th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act, and though President Kennedy introduced it and President Johnson was the one who signed it, and we're grateful for the members of Congress who voted for it, they were really responding to the public pressure. Those images from the campaign in Birmingham, Alabama, those teenagers pinned up against a wall, fire hoses that could peel bark off of a tree used on human beings, that shocked the conscience of the country and forced the political action. That's what I think is happening right now, and that's why I'm optimistic and encouraged. So you ask what you can do, please keep that up. Continue to bear witness and testify to your fellow Americans.
Thank you.
Thank you.